Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the shop. We are working on Snowball, trying to get it done. You know, this has been such a long project. It is finally good to be this far actually doing final adjustments and stuff. But what I want to show you today is a little bit about adjusting doors and some of the window weather strip that goes along with that. Now, I've already done another video more in line with the weather strip stuff, but it all kind of like coincide. You know, you got to get the door adjusted right to get the weather strip to work, and sometimes if the weather strip don't work out, you got to adjust the door to fit it. So let me show you some things. I've got the door off here, as you probably saw behind me over here, and I did that because the door was just sitting too far back for me. Okay, I had the edge of the window frame was just barely on the edge of the window strip here, and I didn't like that. There's too much room, and it was trying to touch this at the top up there. So I'm trying to move it straight forward and just open up the reveal that I had here without tilting it at all. So the way you do that is you take the door off and you take at least a 2-pound hammer and you smack the hinges right here, right in the center on both of them, okay? If you hit one ear or the other, you'll bend just that ear, and then your hinge bolt will want to go in sideways, and it just makes it a pain. So if you look at these hinges, look at it here, you see how it kind of comes out and then angles forward just a little bit? When they're stock and they're unadjusted, they actually come out and they kind of curve towards the back of the truck. So, see, I've already made my adjustment. That probably brought it, I don't know, 3/16 of an inch forward. It wasn't, you don't have to move this hinge a lot to move the door a lot. Is, you know, 3/16 of an inch here, or a 1/16 of an inch here is, you know, 3/8 of an inch or more over here. It's you know how radii and stuff works. It gets bigger as it goes. That's why long range shooting is only a real man's sport. So there's also another adjustment in the hinges, and that is on the door only. If you loosen up your screws in here, they're large Phillips head screws. You can move your hinges, you can angle them this way, and you can move them out and in or up and down just a little bit. But that's more to fit an unsquare body or something like that. It just gives you more options because every one of these trucks is completely different. They're hand built, so you need adjustment like that. And even civilian cars have things like that. So you get your door where you want it, and then you work with your weather stripping, because if you look right there, see the mounting holes are slotted, and that's so you can move your top and all your side weather strippings in and out and angle them and do whatever you need to get everything as close to lined up as possible. Now, it's very rare you'll get any of this perfect. You can get it close. And I can tell you now, this is probably not going to turn out perfect, but it's going to be close. Way better than it was before, way better than it ever has been. So, you know, you can bend just one hinge on the door if you're having an issue, like when you close the door, it's dragging on the bottom here, or it's hitting up top, you know, rubbing here, but not at the bottom. If you've got an uneven gap, that's how you do it. You can either bend this hinge forward to pick the bottom of the door up, or you can bend this hinge back to pick the bottom of the door up. It depends on your spacing. You know, if you have very little space most of the way here, but you're dragging back here, you don't want to bend this hinge back because you'll close up the rest of the space. What you'll want to do is bend this hinge forward to open up your gap. And the opposite is true in an opposite circumstance. So you also need to make sure when you're adjusting your hinges that when you close the door, the top of the door doesn't hit the hardtop here. So when you close your door after making each adjustment, which you have to take it off and on a couple times, and that door's heavy, get some help or an engine hoist or something. Don't say, okay, it's good, and then push it closed. You know, close it slowly by hand and see where it rubs or where it hits, because the door is heavy enough. If you just push it and let it close, it's gonna dent something if it hits it. And I have done that on hard tops before, where it either dents the top or it dents the top of the door back here. Now, this one isn't like that, but my old hardtop and my old doors were like that. Not necessarily from me, but I did have it hit one time after I put a door back on. So anyway, just a few pointers. You can trim your weather strip here if you got, it's the same with a hardtop and a soft top. You'll have this, or you should have this weather strip. And if it's causing you, see, I've got that loose for adjustment too. I forgot I did that. If it's causing you issues rolling up your window, just cut it off. It doesn't necessarily need to be there. So, if you got any other questions about this, anything I left out or wasn't specific enough about, if you got a whole different question, feel free to post it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer your question for you. Don't forget, as always, to check out our sponsors. Their information and links to their sites are in the description below. We sure appreciate them, and I appreciate all of you guys for watching and liking and subscribing and all that other cool stuff. So catch you next time, dudes. Later.